Yo, 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 everybody. I'm back again. Nice to meet ya. Nice to see ya. It's Quake. Um, this is another new game I have. I've been doing a recording marathon for the past couple days where I'm recording a crap ton of shorter length videos saying how I like them. Um, this is Night Call. I think it's like a taxi kind of a thing that takes place at night. My sisters played it. I haven't. I don't know much about the game. And I know you like talk to some of the customers or the people who you're like driving around, but I don't know much else than that. So let's get into it. I already like the feel. Choose the investigation. Oh. Oh. Um. Let's go with the judge. Oh wait, the judge. Have Victims have all something in common and the motives seem clear, but which suspect could have done it? Balanced case, perfect for a first run. Random victims, unknown motive, weird case, slightly more difficult than the others. The victims may feel random at first, but there's a connection, yet the motives might be hard to find. Dark and twisted case. Alright, well I guess judge since it's the first one. Choose the difficulty mode. I'm gonna go story, because I wanna... Money will be easy to get by, the investigation will be easier, every action will take less time for chiller experience. The way Night Call was designed, money will be tighter. Alright, you know what? No, we'll go balanced. We'll go balanced. So my impressions were wrong. I thought this was going to be a taxi service game with some other aspects to it. I didn't think this was going to be a something like this. Oh my god, this is so freaking cool. I love the music. Oh, alright. Night Call. I didn't like seeing that guy behind us, or behind them as they walked. Here? Sir, can you hear me? Or do I need to speak up? Yes, speak up. Is this okay with you? Is my voice loud enough? Louder. And now, is this okay? Yes, thank you. She takes a deep breath. Sir, you just spent 2 weeks in a coma. The word bounces around your head. You need a moment to understand its meaning. Coma? The word scratches along your throat. Yes, you were the victim of an assault. The word resonates in your head. Victim. You are aware a serial killer is currently on the loose in Paris. You feel the contents of your stomach crawling up your throat. The judge, as the police calls the killer, assaulted you. The bullet touched your liver and, in most circumstances, it would have been fatal. We chose to put you in an induced. Her voice becomes distant. Fades. You taste bile at the back of your throat. Your head is burning. You hear a whistle in one ear. Your fingers move to your wound. Underneath the bandages, you can feel hard skin. It is incredibly painful. Did they? I'm sorry? Did they catch the judge? No. What about my passengers? He was dead before he even got out of your cab. The doctor is silent for a second, a very awkward second. She hesitates. The police would like to see you as soon as possible, to ask you some questions. After all, you're the only one who survived the judge. Noise in the hallway attracts your attention. You try to turn your head to no avail. You need to rest. She leaves the room. Her voice resonates in the hallway. I don't care. He's the only witness. Yeah, I don't care he's the only witness. He's... Another female voice joins in, a strong authoritarian voice. You can't clearly make up what she's saying. A strange feeling washes over you. It's not pain, not fatigue, some odd combination of the two. Before being in this hospital room, you'd never realized that anger was made up of a combination of pain and exhaustion. Anger. A feeling you know all too well. Days go by, and a month later, night 1. Look, I've got a bit of a problem. A real problem, that is. You have a pounding headache. It's your first night behind the wheel since the attack. Are you listening to me? You catch your boss's eye in the rearview mirror. Yeah. He stares at you for a second or two without speaking. Sometimes I wonder what goes on inside your head. You always seem so far away. Well, I mean, getting attacked in an alleyway doesn't seem like a fun thing. I'm listening. Okay. He's watching you closely, trying to make out what's going on in your head. You know I'm worried about you, don't you? I know. You're like a son to me, you know? I know. And you know he's about to tell you the story of his taxi fleet. Again. When my father died and left me the store, I could have sold it. I could have retired, gone back to the old country. But I decided to start a cab fleet with the money he left me, to hire the guys from the neighborhood. And that's when I got 45 guys like you working for me. His hands flutter in the air. Though none of them are any match for you. Aw, thanks, man. He smiles, his voice suddenly takes on a serious note. Do you want me to go over everything again? He points to the equipment on the dashboard, the meter, the GPS. You haven't been in a taxi for weeks, maybe you do need a little refresher. That is a sly way for a tutorial. Yeah, good idea. Right then. Well, first is the map. You spot potential customers and try and guess where they'll be going. Then you decide. When a customer orders a taxi, if there's no one else around, you have to go pick them up. He shrugs. That's the way it goes. It's business. No problem. The other fares, you look at the map and decide whether or not you want to take them. And then, you drive. He flashes a quick mechanical smile. You know it well. When he talks about work, he talks about work. That's all. When your shift's over, we do numbers, and his voice trails off of his searching for the right words. And that's all. It's pretty simple. There's no reason why you can't do it. All right, no overtime. We're in France here, and there are rules, regulations. You might not see it that way, but no one likes having a driver who hasn't slept for 24 hours. He looks away. Something's been bothering him since he got into the cab. Anyhow, you know the ropes. You get it. I know you're going to do a good job. What's the matter? Your boss keeps quiet for a while, as if he's hesitant to speak, and then, I don't think it's a good idea. You shouldn't be driving. The murderer is still out there, and we think he's going to come back. For you. He holds your gaze, then turns away. You know, I can put you on the day shift, or send you out into the suburbs away from it all. You shake your head no. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I'll let you get back to work. Every minute spent in your taxi is a minute lost. He gives you a smile, half ironic, half serious. Have a good evening. The sarcasm in his voice is palpable. Right, you have a good evening too. He'll spend the rest of the night dealing with problems and drivers. You wonder how and when the guy ever gets any sleep. Your boss opens the door and exits the cab. You watch him cross the street and enter the fleet garage. A couple of colleagues are milling about, taxis coming and going. They all ignore you, consciously or unconsciously. You are branded. You sit there a moment, then turn the key in the ignition. The hum of the engine sends a tingle down your spine. It's impossible to describe how you miss that feeling. It's back to the night shift, back to life. Despite the attack. Despite it all. Well, that is an amazing start. I really like that. Somewhere in the street, you ran into that movie star, the one in coffee stands. Except. The woman getting in her taxi does not look like she's at her best. Mouth lolling open, eyes unfocused, out of breath, she looks like she's just been punched in the gut. Or like she saw a ghost. She struggles to take her backpack off and makes several attempts. The strap gets... Oh, okay, we are driving. That was confusing me. Okay, that is cool. I love that. She struggles and takes her backpack off and makes several attempts. The strap gets caught on the buckle of her overall. She sighs and gets annoyed. During this whole process, she doesn't look up at you once. She takes a deep breath. Her voice is emotionless, more of a trickle than a voice. Coming out in childish body. It sounds like it took every bit of energy she had to get those words out. I can't speak French, so I will not be pronouncing that. Because I don't want to insult people. She takes her phone out of her bag, hesitates, starts swiping left to right and right to left. She's completely absorbed. You think you can make out the reflection of a colorful mobile game in her glasses. Silence settles heavily into the cab. It's broken occasionally by something that sounds like a hiccup or a repressed sob. A red light. She raises her hand and lowers it at the second her gaze crosses yours in the rearview mirror. Something about her makes you feel like you've got something caught in your throat. Rough night? She looks up, surprised you broke into her bubble. Her gaze darkens a bit more. Yeah, you might say so. She's not crying, not shaking, just the occasional spasm. A few seconds go by. You attempt to focus on the road, but despite both of your efforts, you pretend nothing is wrong. Her emotions invade the cab. She finally takes the plunge, like she's jumping off the cliff. Can I talk to you? Still the same trickle of a voice and the great lengths taken to control it. I'm sorry, it's stupid, but I think I need someone to talk to. I'm listening. She takes a deep breath. I need to say it out loud. You say silent. You sense she needs you to be silent. A guy touched me in that bar. Her voice is twisted, like a nearly empty tube of toothpaste. Tears collect in her eyes. You feel really heavy. She starts talking again. Her tone is slightly different. She sounds more confident. Like saying those words out loud made her feel a bit more alive again. Or like she wanted to be stronger. He came up behind me and touched me. Way too much. Her voice breaks over the last few syllables. The silence in the cab absorbs everything, even the noise of traffic. You don't even hear the ambulance going by, lights flashing. I want to talk about it, but I also don't really know what to say. Just say whatever comes. Do you want to file a report? I don't think so. I don't have much of anything concrete to report. I don't ever feel like going to the police station. I don't want to sit under fluorescent lights, answer questions. I just want a warm blanket, a cup of hot chocolate, and my mom. She tries to smile but gets choked up and lets out a painful sob. It took me way too long to understand what was happening. Way too long. I didn't get it. I was petrified. She looks about 30 years old, maybe, not that far from 30, but you get the impression you're driving a little girl who just had her innocence stolen. One minute, I was standing there in the crowd. The Furiosa, the Furiosa is like my second home. I always go there to hang out with friends because they all live in the neighborhood, and our places are all too small. She takes a breath. You follow suit unconsciously. Everything was fine. There was a concert. I was happy. I had a bit to drink, but not too much. It was packed, but the music was sweet. It was a good night. I was having a good night. Another breath. You know what it's like when you're packed in a crowd like sardines? You don't really know who's touching you, but that's just the way crowds are. She lays her telephone on the seat and leans forward, elbows on her knees and head in her hands. Her backpack falls on the floor. She doesn't make the slightest move to pick it up. I didn't get it. Fuck. Why didn't I get it? I didn't even react. She stares at you. Why didn't I react? That's a... I don't want to... Okay, I don't like this option. I feel like it's minimizing what she's going through. You should talk to the police about this. I feel like... and starts to cry softly, cradling her head in her hands. She says nothing, but you sense it's better to let her be. The road goes by, tears streaming down. Something terrible is happening in back. You don't know what to do. The taxi pulls up to Place des Fêtes. She pays, but continues to spasm. When she gets out of the cab with her backpack and overalls, you get the impression a little girl is walking away. You sit alone with a strange but unpleasant sensation. Something pulls from somewhere deep within your gut all the way up to the base of your neck. Maybe you feel like you were useless, incapable of sharing in her loneliness. You feel somehow responsible in spite of yourself. You sigh and drive off. Is that a dog? Is that a cat? I'm going to see the animal. Alright. Pull up to the sidewalk and wait for your passenger. Since it looks like a no-show, you get out of the cab after a minute or two to smoke a cigarette. There's not much going on in this small town in the suburbs. There's a few apartments that still have a light on. A sweet scent hangs in the air. Eventually, you stub out your cigarette and get back into your car. You jump, startled. A cat has managed to slip into the cab. Sitting on the back seat, staring at you intently. You sit there for a moment, considering whether or not to shoo it away. But just as you're about to wave your hand, the cat shifts positions and a slip of paper falls from its collar. Oh my god. Pick up the paper. You pick up the piece of paper and unfold it. It's a fragment of a map of Paris, the Saint Lazare train station. You turn your eyes slowly to the cat, who seems to be expecting an answer. Are you going somewhere? The cat tilts its head to the side, as if to say yes. A little cute little guy. You want to go to Saint Lazare? The cat tilts its head again. Are you a dog? The cat slowly nods its head no. Your hands clutch the wheel tightly. What the hell is going on? You turn around to face the cat. Okay, I'll take you. You let out a sigh. Okay, fine. Start talking to yourself in low tones, as if to balance the conversation. Normal. This is all perfectly normal. You start the cab, but cast a glance at the cat behind you. You're the one who ordered the cab. You start to laugh. A few minutes go by. You try to break the silence. Simple questions are probably the best. Everything okay? Neither yes or no. More of a plaintive meow. Are you running away from somebody? The cat lets out a long, plaintive meow. Another cat? Your owner? Again, a long, melancholic meow. You nod your head. What happened? Was it a man? No answer. A woman? Was she mean to you? The cat seems to be uncertain. She was overly... She had other cats? The cat gives you a look full of disbelief. No, that's not it, eh? You're independent. You like to be alone, right? Your owner isn't around for you? Cat doesn't seem to understand. For instance, your owner is never home, you're bored, you want to spend more time playing. The cat could roll their eyes, he would have. The cat doesn't seem to feel like talking anymore. He turns his head away, looks at the street and out the window. You're not far now, after the next light. You point to the light in the distance. That's St. Lazare. You'll be there soon. A few yards later, you stop at the drop-off area in front of the station. First train doesn't leave for another hour. Where are you going? The cat stares at you without making a noise. Let me guess. St. Lazare? If you're going to the suburbs of Paris, you wouldn't have needed to come into town. So somewhere in the northwest of France? Northwest. Brittany? The passenger glares at you. Okay, right, not Brittany. Cat lets out a choppy meow. He wants to get out. Somewhere by the sea, huh? The cat is looking at you and meows. A sharp sound. Probably a yes. A very hungry yes. For the fish, I guess. You check the time on your dashboard. It's time to go, to get a real customer. Try not to think too much about the situation you're in, and you hope that no one sees you talking to a cat. Okay, I won't bother you with all that. Is that a meow of thanks? You sigh. Okay, come on. Time to say goodbye. You get out of the cab and open the back door. A bill has appeared on the seat next to the cat. It's enough for the fare, and more. Well, you are full of surprises, aren't you? I won't ask where it came from. You smile, lean over to pet the cat. Leaps out of the car and darts between your legs. You just make out its shape dancing in a flight of stairs, slipping between the bars of a grate. You get back in the cat. Yeah, oh my god, you get back in the car. Look at yourself in the rearview mirror. Your features are heavy with fatigue. Your right eyelid is twitching. But you start the car. You remember you are allergic to cats, but you haven't sneezed once. You pull out of the station. The door suddenly opens and a woman gets into the back seat. Having a good night? For a second, you freeze. It's one of the cops working on the judge's case. She grins at you. Her voice creaks. You remember seeing her at the hospital. Something already bothered you about her there. You know, it was actually pretty crazy. For weeks, I've been saying to myself, there's something off about you. Something not so nice. Dug around, mulled it over, bugged all my fellow cops about it, because I was sure you lied to us. She has a cold sneer on her face. I'm going to be frank with you. She leans over to you. I don't think you're the judge. Nah, I just can't picture it. She squints, like she's trying to make you out from far away. Like you've gone to the extent of hurting yourself. Yeah, between us, it's a bit of a stretch. She stares at you. But not enough of a stretch for my chief to stop going on and on about you. Seriously, he talks about you all the time. If I didn't know better, I think he'd had a crush on you. She smirks. No, I think she's more interested in her trial. In prison at 17? An icy chill fills your gut. And for murder, too. Uh-oh. You open your mouth, but nothing comes out. Since you got out, you've kept a low profile, but you're lying about your name and your address. I checked. It's normal, you'd say, if they get word of your time service, or served no loan for your permit, no lease for your car, meaning no second chance at life. Her voice becomes softer, almost warm. I personally like guys who want a second chance. No, I like guys who fight for a second chance. Basically, I like guys who are willing to work for me. Uh-oh. She leans forward, her shining, cat-like eyes narrowing. My chief wants to go to the prosecutor with the first and last name, with evidence. Actually, knowing him, he's not so hot on evidence. So I'll give you an info. Victims, suspects, medical reports, some photos that are a bit... She makes a gagging noise. You have to be discreet. Keep it between you and me. Interrogate, ask questions, dig around. I'm not a cop. She shrugs. Don't worry, you're already keener than half the squad. And don't forget, I'm not asking you to make an arrest and deliver the killer wrapped up in a bow in front of the station, okay? You're no Batman, you're just here to get me more information. She rummages around her pocket for what seems like forever. Here, take my card. I'll call you in 3-4 days just to check in. We'll chat. And I'll let you know if I have any new info. She takes on a didactic, paternalistic tone, like she was giving you a list of recommendations for the 100th time. Don't get caught, don't get arrested. Also, I wouldn't recommend trying to leave Paris. I know what you look like and I know who your friends are. You can either be the solution to my problem, my friend. She takes a minute to scan your face, your emotions. If I have to, I'll go check in on you-know-who. Her smile is biting. That reminds me. She know you've done this time? Or you've done time? You shake your head. She snickers. Oh, my little dirtbag, you cover your tracks well. What if I refuse? If you refuse? Simple. I turn you in. I'll send your picture to all my friends in the media and every asshole in Paris. Your picture with your name on it. Your real name. And anyone close to you will have their places searched. They'll be put under house arrest, spend nights in jail. You'll have any idea how tense... Oh my god. You have any idea how tense things are with that fucker's trial underway? You sigh. You know just what she's trying to get at. Come to think of it, your last names are almost the same. You could be brothers, actually. I'm nothing like that terrorist. She smiles. Let me tell you, with that face of yours and your handle, they'll welcome you with open arms. She takes on a seriousness, a serious tone, businesslike. I want to catch this killer personally. I want to drag him to court, ruin his fucking life, with a bang. I can't botch this case, you got me? And neither can you, right? Obviously. Well, great then. We see eye to eye. She could just say you're my informant, my CI. He ripped open your gut, saw your own insides, you were in a coma. Yeah, but you have plenty of reasons to want to get back at him. She furrows her brow. Yeah, I think you're going to do what I tell you to do. You investigate, ask questions, listen to all the rumors, and you come up with a list of suspects. She lays her hand on the door handle and freezes. Oh right, and don't get fired. Without this cab, you're worth nothing to me. You glare at her. She puts her hand up and you can hear the words behind it. This conversation never happened. I'll make sure to get more intel tomorrow. I'll find a way. Until then, not a word to anybody. Or not a word to anyone. Obviously. Not a word. The door opens, squeaks, and slams shut. Alright. You sit alone for a while. Teeth clench, dried-eyed, ears buzzing. Shit. On the back seat, the cop left a pile of papers. Shit. Key in the ignition, motor running. Radio on, crackles, you turn it off and start driving. Talking to passengers might unlock new documents and clues for your investigation. You will find them back at your studio after your shift. Alright. I think that's all. Alright, let's see how this is. You take a second to enjoy the silence of your studio apartment. Outside, the city is slowly waking up. You can still hear the hum of the taxi buzzing your ears. You throw the files Bousset gave you on the table. On the wall, you hung up the big corkboard where you used to pin up the photos of your nephews. They've been gone since you got out of. Your plan is simple. Jot down all the pieces of evidence and connect them to the suspects. The guilty party won't necessarily be the one with the most evidence against them, but the one with the most compelling evidence against them. It's like you're building a story about each suspect, okay. Trying to understand their motives. Understand how he or she got into this situation. Steps in the hallway, they stop in front of your door. then move away. You sigh and get to work. Ah. Killer case. Alright. Alright. Height 1 meter, 6'9". Retired cop, joined police force in 1977. Divorced from a judge. Born in the French Antilles, moved to mainland France in 1976. 170, 179. Alright. Well-known lawyer from St. Ouen. Defender on the Dower case. Defender of several molested kids in poor neighborhoods. With a promising football career when he was 10. Parrot Bataz. That was a cop, financial affairs, died 2 years ago. Mom got health issues. Never disclosed this information at work. Gay, in a relationship, never disclosed this. Okay. 79, medical examiner in Paris. Escaped from Argentina when she was young. Ugh. Lost her parents in Argentinian junta. The process. Okay. Homeless man with unknown background. Briefly worked for Charles Bougrain. Charles, victim 2, in the 90s. Okay. I thought there was another paper there. Got health issues after Reichtoten health scandal. A couple of arrests for breaking and entering. Okay. So we'll do this. Death equals execution. Here, I'll put that there. The killer's height is less than meter 80, 69, 75, 70, 79. Alright. No sign of violence. Source cop times 2. Alright, so we'll do this. Because I don't have anything for that. Alright. Time's up. Alright, so these connect. Alright. Huh. With one bullet in the neck. Can I see the files again? No. Huh. Oh, these are the suspects. Okay. Alright, so I think these are things that I gotta put together. Alright. Well, I think I'll call it here for the night. With the heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You slowly open the sofa bed and lie down. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. You open one eye. For a second there, you hope the evidence board was just a dream too, but you can make it out in the shadows. You get up quickly, and a few minutes later, you're outside your studio. Alright, so I'm gonna call it here. I think I'll try and do a night an episode. I'm really liking it so far. I'm really, really liking it. And I think I'm going to be playing this more often. Thank you all for checking out the video. Sorry. I am so sorry if you heard me burp. I am so sorry. That's embarrassing. But I hope you all enjoyed the episode. Um, and see you all next time. Bye.